I actually met Max Lewin, the director, a few years before actually knowing him from Icarus on a pantomime. He was working at a theatre I worked in. I was doing the fights for the theatre. He was doing another project, doing something else on the show. So yeah, I got to meet him through that, and then kept in contact. And then first came involved with Icarus show-wise for Othello, and we toured that. I mean, Romeo and Juliet's one of the most famous Shakespeare plays, so the fight's been done hundreds of times. Kind of really taken the inspiration from what the actors' abilities are. We've cast people specifically who can fight, so we've got all the actors at some point fighting in the show. So based a little bit on what their abilities can do and things. We've cast Tybalt as a girl in that role this time, so that has a big influence on the relationship between her and Mercutio. So that fight and its choreography has been influenced by potentially maybe a love interest going on at the same time as they hate each other. So there's little bits of choreography that are affected by that. They're pretty good to start off with. So they've had training at drama school anyway, so of varying degrees. So some roles we really needed to make sure people could have a really good foundation before we even kind of cast them. So the roles of kind of Tybalt and Mercutio are really important for that, and Romeo to a certain extent as well. So we were very fortunate to have a good cast on board. We did some kind of generic training to bring everybody onto the same page, just so we're all talking on the same language, and then went from there with rehearsals really. The fight between Tybalt and Mercutio is kind of a little bit epic in terms of its length. We've not tried to make it short, it's quite long. And there's a nice escalation of kind of desperateness within it. So I quite like that for the storytelling aspect. But I also like the opening fight because it's kind of 2-on-1, it's a bit more funky and showy, just to give a bit of kind of energy to the opening of the show. So that's quite nice, and I think that the cast have had fun doing that as well.